Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking today at maximizing topspin. I'm going to illustrate that on the forehand side today, but this stuff is transferable over to the backhand. We talked about last video, racket path and racket speed being the two biggest factors in being able to just create good topspin. And those two ideas are still what we're talking about today, but we just have to narrow down how you guys are able to go out and get the most amount of topspin possible when you need to call on it, all right? So, racket path. You know, where the tip of the racket is at all times is going to dictate a lot whether we hit the ball flat or spin it a ton. And today, that's still true, but what I want you guys to notice is that when the racket gets back behind me, you know, we've got this span. Let's talk about the flat forehand right now. This span where the tip of the racket is back here, and as I hit through a flat forehand, I'm covering the distance from behind me, out, and around. Okay, and not that I can't hit some topspin there, but when the span of the swing goes from way behind my body and gets very extended and then comes out the left side with a lot of extension, that is not the easiest way to create topspin. So let's have a look at that swing right there that I just illustrated. I think you guys will understand that ball has some topspin, but not a lot. That's much closer to a flat ball. So the idea here is that we want to continue to get all of that drop and that elevation on every one of these swings, but as the span of that swing gets narrower or just shorter, the more we're going to produce spin. So let's bump that up a level. Now I'm going to take a swing where I drop and I'm going to come up, you know, and make contact just a little bit closer to my body and a little bit more on an upswing. Okay, and you can see that ball's taking off a lot quicker in a rolling fashion where I'm creating spin. Now let's get to the buggy whip. I'm creating, you know, a swing that gets from the top of my sock in the drop position all the way up above my head, maybe 2 or 3 feet high above my head before it comes to rest. And I've got all of this elevation occurring in this very short span. That is a recipe for maximizing topspin. So have a look here. One more time. Okay, and hopefully you guys can even hear that. That ball is literally shaving off my racket because as I pick up that much drop into that elevation and I'm keeping that span so close, the ball is literally falling off my strings. And that's why on a buggy whip we need so much racket speed, because if I swung slow there, the ball would hit in this fashion and just drop down. And that leads us into the second component, which is racket speed. For every one of those shots I just demonstrated, you know, we want that idea of lagging the racket back to create racket speed. And lag, if you need that refresher, is how long am I able to keep the racket head behind my hand through the swing up until the point where I release the racket. And a lot of players, you've seen it before. Let's say we have a pusher on our hands. You know, there's no lag. They keep their hand and the racket generally next to each other the whole time. You take a Nadal and he's swinging out through here and he's still got the racket head behind his hand, and then at the last second the thing just comes flying through. So lag is that second component to be able to maximize your spin. The longer you're able to hold the racket back before releasing, the quicker you're going to swing and the more spin you're going to be able to produce. So let's see if I can take a couple cuts at it here, really trying to hold that lag position and then flipping through that ball. Okay, did one with a Buggy Whip, one with a little more of a traditional finish, but really trying to feel that idea that I'm holding that lag up until the last possible second, and I felt like every one of those swings, for the swing that I was hitting, I maximized my spin potential. One thing to tack on to this is the legs. I think you guys will find, number one, it's just a more athletic way to play tennis, getting good bend out of the legs, getting that nice feel from the ground up, pushing off into the swing. But you think about maximizing spin, to me, I see players who use the legs better, create better lag, and you know, they tend to have the ability to get that racket to drop a little lower. And if on all these swings in maximizing topspin, we're talking about making sure to get that racket head from the low position to an extremely high position through that hitting zone, dipping those legs into the shot is kind of that last component that's going to have you guys maximizing your topspin. Now, every one of those swings has value. We've done a video before, because after Nadal won the French Open, it was like, should I Buggy Whip every forehand? You know, I don't need to maximize my topspin every time I hit a ball. There's certain times a flat hit is going to serve me better than maximizing spin. It's just, I think a lot of you out there are very intrigued by how to get the most amount of topspin. So I wanted to give you that message today about how to be able to go out and get it when you need to call on it. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like below this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so, as well as check down below me in the description of this video. You'll find the link to 3 free courses Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well, and we'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lesson.